Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I also want to start off by saying thanks a lot for the great comments y'all have been leaving on my videos, and that really means a lot to me. And that's shows me that you like what I'm doing, so I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to try to even make them better as we go. Anyway, I had a lot to think about improving these videos today as I was sitting in governmental accounting class. Yeah, it's going to be really funny when I take the test. But anyway, and like I mentioned, I'm going to kind of make some of these videos for some of my subscribers. And so this one goes out to, well, let's just say one whole sixth of all my subscribers are from Australia. So this one goes out to GA from Australia. And I mentioned I was going to show a vintage item that I got from Australia. And I also want to tell a little bit of a story to go along with it. So anyway, let me just go ahead and show the item. And it is this nice £1 note from Australia that my grandfather brought back during World War II. And I really think this is awesome. It's just in good condition, and if you look at the back of it, it has this kind of a relief-looking drawing of a sheep herder, it looks like. Some sheep herders, and it's watermarked. Just a really nice bill. And in fact, this has been in my family, obviously, for about 60 years. And I recently wanted to find something to go with it, so I actually I ordered this one on eBay, which is a 10 shilling note. And as you can see, it's very similar. So, and the back of it has a similar sort of relief, and it's hard to make out, but it looks like some potter's wheels, like artisans, and it also has the same watermark, which is really cool. I just wanted to show you more of a contemporary Australian note here. This is from the 70s, and there are a few differences between then and now. Is the denomination's the dollar, it's no longer the pound. And this has got kangaroos, and I really like the back of it. So anyway, you probably recognize this, so I thought I'd show this to you. And in some of my earlier reviews, I talked a lot about my grandparents, and those were my maternal grandparents. So the grandfather who brought this back was actually my paternal grandfather, and his name was Travis. And I have a picture of him at that time. Okay. Let me try to do this without a big reflection on it, but and you can actually see me. So anyway, here's a good picture of him, and tell you a little bit of the story now. So on my dad's side, let me just kind of like put this as a centerpiece here. So my grandfather on my dad's side was from Texas, and my grandmother, well, I think I told you that my maternal grandmother had a wild streak. Well, my paternal grandmother's wild streak made my other grandma look like a saint. I mean, she was, you know, what they call them, a spitfire, I guess you could say, back in the 40s. She was also from Texas, from Keller, Texas, and when she was a teenager, she moved to California to try to break into acting, and which is pretty cool. I mean, she was drop dead gorgeous, and she was, you know, pretty crazy, and she actually dated some movie actors at that time. But everything changed when she met this guy right here, my grandfather Travis. I mean, he totally swept her off her feet. So they fell in love. They got married in 1943. And my dad was born in 1944. And of course, World War II was going on. You could probably tell by the uniform that something was going on. And he was away a lot. And after seeing my dad, he bought my grandma a big box of chocolates. And she said she was going to save all the coconut ones for him because that was his favorite. And I know this for sure because I actually read a letter that he wrote to my dad when my dad was a baby, where he talked about loving coconut a lot, which is kind of funny because I love coconut a lot. So anyway, Yeah, he served at the Battle of Guadalcanal, at which, during that battle, he was awarded the Air Medal. Whoop, let's knock the camera over again. And this is, if you know anything about the military, this is a really high decoration. There's the medal, and on the back, it just has his name and rank, Travis L. Huddleston, USMC. And yeah, he was an aviator, a Marine Corps aviator. And he actually shot down the very first enemy plane at the Battle of Guadalcanal. And there's actually a book called The Cactus Air Force. He's mentioned in it, which is pretty cool. Well, anyway, you hear the old Glenn Miller I got going on? That's kind of a tribute music. And a lot of the Marines at that time went to Australia for their liberty and their leave, because it was when they were stationed in the Pacific, that was the closest cool place to go to. So he went to Australia, and of course picked all of us up this great note. And so anyway, my grandma, everything was looking good. 1945, he's about ready to come home. The war's winding down. Japan was about to surrender, and unfortunately, she got some bad news. And yeah, he was actually involved in a mid-air collision in 1945 over the Marshall Islands. And and this is the newspaper clipping about it. So actually, he never came home, which was really sad. And she was definitely in love with him, and I can attest to that fact, for the rest of her life. And she talked about him, and it was definitely a devastating time for her. I have a picture of her, and I'll show it another time. But it's basically they never found him, so it's just her surrounded by a whole bunch of flowers, and this very photograph right here. In fact, this same photograph. I'm mad at it. The bad job here with the clouds in the back. I did that when I was a kid, so it doesn't look very good. But anyway, that's the story of that. And so I don't have very much stuff of his, just the medal, the bills. But it is interesting because I get to tell this story to someone in Australia. And incidentally, she did say over the years that I resembled him. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. I guess the best way to show this to you would be to show you what I look like in a uniform too. And if you can make that out, that's me right there. And just to compare, that's him. And that's me. I wish I had a better picture to show you, but this is the best I can do right now. This is my boot camp graduation book from when I was in the military. And so I do think we resemble each other. Anyway, so I hope this was a good story. And I had a lot of, it was fun to tell, and it was, it's nice to talk about this kind of stuff because in a way you think, my grandfather's been dead since 1945, which is well over 60 years, but it's nice to say that, people are gone but not forgotten. And I can tell the story and I can pass it on. And there's still a good story there. And there's a love story. And, I think about when my grandma looked at me and saw him. So I think it's really nice. Anyway, I hope this wasn't too much of a downer. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope to make many more. So, goodbye.